Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on this episode 19 of my knitting, spinning, and all other things craft related podcast. I do apologize for the 2-month hiatus. That was totally not planned. I was going to take about a month off, but yeah, it turned into about 2 months. So I do apologize for that, but welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me today. And if you're a returning viewer, I really appreciate you continuing to come back and watch my shows, despite the crazy not schedule that I keep. So today, I have 4 finished knits to share with you. 2 works in progress. Actually, now it is 3 works in progress. And 3 future sweaters. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so the first project I finished is Diamond Twist by Drops. It's a Drops pattern. This is the skirt. I've got it all folded up so you guys can see it. And I will show you a picture of how it looks on me. It's a beautiful skirt. It fits gorgeously. It's very, very warm. I used Drops Alaska yarn, which is kind of a Aran weight, and US 7 needles, which is 4.5 millimeter. I cast on October 9th and bound off on November 23rd. So I'm really, really happy that I got this completely finished way before Christmas. So that's one done. And then I knit myself some knee socks. I had showed you these on the last show. And I got them finished. I cast on November 8 and finished on November 20. And I used my own sock yarn, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, in the Bonfire colorway. And I used 2.5 millimeter needles, which is 1.5 US 1.5. It's pretty much my go-to needles. And these were knit top down. And I put elastic in the top because they won't stay up otherwise. So I just threaded some elastic through here. Now these are a little bit too short for me. They don't quite go all the way to the knee. And I made the elastic too tight, so I've gifted them to my daughter, who's just a tiny bit smaller. So those are for her. They didn't take too terribly long because I just knit monogamously on them until they were done. The third finished item, which I don't think I showed you at all, I did join the 2018 Mitten Club from Skeindeer Knits, and these are her Speedy Selbu mittens. I purchased the club because I wanted to knit these, and who knows if I will knit the other mittens. We'll see. But I cast on November 24th and bound off on December 15th. If you're wondering why I keep looking down, my show notes are on the floor right here. So they're kind of in front of me and to the side. I used the same Drops Alaska yarn as I used for this skirt, but the colors are a little bit different. They look like they're reversed, so there's a lot more gray than red in the mittens. And I used US 6, which is a 4 millimeter needle, and they fit perfectly. These were cast on November 24 and bound off on December 15th. I think I already told you that. Anyway, there they are. I love them, and they're a perfect fit. My fingers go all the way to the top. I love how she has a very tight row gauge, because so do I. And so her patterns will fit me perfectly. Okay, and then the last finished object. This is the Stained Glass Hat by Deborah Tomasello. And I use my sock yarn Bonfire and Deepest Blue. So this is the same as the knee socks plus the deep blue. And I really love it. It's got this little bitty I-cord thing at the top. And it's just really, really pretty. There's what the crown looks like. I love this. This was blah, blah, blah. This was a knit along in the Haya group, and I had to try it because I love Deborah Tomasello's patterns, and I wanted to knit this beautiful, beautiful hat, and I'm into color work, so I did. And I cast this on December 27 and bound off on December 31st, and I used US 2 knitting needles, which is 2.75 millimeter. I used 16-inch circulars and 8-inch DPNs. And let me tell you, I'm not used to using such big DPNs. That was interesting. So this was a very fun knit, and it does fit. It's a little tighter than the pattern said. I was supposed to use US 3, which should be a 3.25 millimeter, and I went down a size, so a little bit tighter than it should be. I still love it. I don't need super duper floppy hats, so that's perfectly fine. And now onto the whips. So I have 3 whips, but we'll talk about 2 of them right now. So in my own hand-dyed sock yarn, using natural, which is not dyed, and deepest blue again, I am making the Wonderland Adventure Scarf. And last time I showed it to you, I was right here. So I have knit almost the same amount again since 2 months ago. And I'm about to start chapter 4 of the pattern. So this is a double knit. This pattern is, you can find it under Lost Library Knits on Ravelry. And it is by Celia Cabodevilla. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. I will put it right here so you can see it. And this is a knit along that's supposed to end the end of January, and I'm totally not going to finish at that time. So, oh well. But it is a very fun knit, quite addictive once you sit down with it. Double knitting is not really my thing, but this is a very fun pattern, so. All right, and then my own pattern and my own hand-dyed sock yarn. This is Ravenclaw socks in my Ravenclaw colors. So you can see the raven here and on the back. Now I have done Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, but I changed the pattern so that there is a stripe down both sides of the sock all the way to the toe. From the cuff to the toe, there's a stripe on both sides. And that eliminates the weird stuff that was in between the chart panels, the front and back panels. So I'm really liking that. Now I did knit it a little bit too long, and then when I started the toe, I thought, I'll try a star toe. I don't like it, not for this pattern. Also, the star toe doesn't work that well when you decrease every single row. And then I cast on with 68 stitches, and when I finished the rib, I went up to 72, and I knit the rest of the sock 72 stitches. I did use 1.5, a US 1.5, which is 2.5 millimeter needles. And when I do the 68 stitch chart, it fits, but it's really, really hard to get on and take off. This also fits, it's a little bit looser. The 72 stitches definitely fits better, but the cuff, I can't go up that high on the cuff or it'll just flop around on me. So there we have it. This is sock number 1. Sock number 2 got started, and I totally screwed up the chart and got frustrated and frogged the whole thing. I had about that much done, so no big deal. So yeah, those are my whips, and now I have to go get the other one because I didn't plan on sharing it, but I have permission, so I'll be right back. All right, last whip, which is a new cast on, and I think I cast on January 2nd, I think. So here's a really terrible picture, but this is the pattern. It's called Rusty Times Cardigan. It is a test knit, and yes, I have permission to share. There's the the name. So I have permission to share this with y'all. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern knit in sock weight or lace weight yarn. And I'm using some more of my hand dyed. This is Forest Skies because it's got the brown of tree trunks, the green of the leaves, and the blue of the sky in it, and everything in between. So that's what I named this, and I wanted to try it out. I had exactly 3 skeins dyed up. So here's the back. It's really pretty. I know it looks tiny, but it really stretches. It's got little simple cables, some lace, cable, and what's called moss stitch on the pattern, but I think it's actually seed stitch in the middle. And then I just started the front, and it's all on one cable, so it's a little bit weird, but there's the front right panel, and I'm not done with the right front to the arm shaping. Once the arm shaping is complete, then it's joined and it's worked all together. But I'll have to, of course, knit the left front before I can join it all, knit it all together. But I just think the colors are gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the colors all that well. I am loving this. Probably not the best yarn to showcase the design, but I'm in love with it, and I can't hardly put it down. So this is my new monogamous knit. And what happened is I joined a test knit, and I thought, I don't have yarn for this, but it'll be a lot of fun. The test knit is being run in the Ravelry group called A Place to Call Our Own, and call is K-A-L. I'll put it down here so you can see how it is spelled. And it's a lovely little group. I met them through the Hiya knit-alongs and hostessing and stuff. And I love the group. There's lots of test knits going on, lots of knit-alongs, and pick and choose what you want to be a part of. I'm on the earburn list for everything, so I get an earburn on every new thing coming up. So when the I don't have the name of it, when the checkmark sweater came up needing testers for the English version of the pattern, I went, I don't know, I don't have the yarn for this, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this one. So I ordered some yarn from Drops, and it hasn't gotten here yet. It's going to take about 2 weeks. And then I got another notification for another test, and I asked if I could sign up for both, because I already have the yarn for the Rusty Times cardigan, which is this one. So I scanned up the yarn while waiting for a reply, while waiting for the pattern to get to me. Because it had to be emailed. You know how these things go. And as soon as I got the pattern, I started knitting, and it's so much fun. And I'm hoping to have it done before my yarn gets here from Drops, but we'll see, because I need to get that other sweater. It's a pullover. The checkmark sweater is a pullover. And I want to get that done before the deadline. And the deadline for both of these is, I think, February 26th. So I don't have a whole lot of time, but I've already gotten quite a ways on this Rusty Times cardigan. And this is fingering weight yarn, while the other one is DK. So huge difference. The other one should go a lot quicker, but I won't know until I get the pattern and start working on it. Also, I went up, the pattern says to use, I think, a US 3 or a US 4 knitting needle for this. I know I'm jumping around, I'm so sorry. I went up to a size US 5 because my row gauge is so tiny, and I'm a pretty tight knitter. And then I had to knit farther down the chart, repeat, do more of the chart before starting the underarm shaping, the armhole shaping. So, you know, even though it's a test knit and I am following the pattern as close as I can, I still want to be able to wear it. So I have to make small adjustments to fit me or my daughter. It doesn't matter to me if it fits me or if it fits my daughter, but I'm really looking forward to having that finished so I can model it and I can tell the designer what an awesome, awesome pattern this is. And I'm hoping to be able to test knit some more for her because it's just awesome. Anyway, her patterns are awesome. And that is all I have as far as knitting goes. I have no spinning to share with you. I've done a little bit here and there. I've just gotten back into it. I haven't spun since Thanksgiving until January 1st. So, but I did go to the library and get some acquisitions, so I wanted to share those with you. The library was having the whole month of December, and they're still running it now. They've been having a book sale for 50 cents per book, or 2 for $1. Same diff. So I got this book. It's called Rug Making. I've always wanted to make my own rugs, and this shows every type of rug you can possibly make. Rag and braided rugs, rugs to knit and crochet, hooked and needlepoint, special rug making techniques, creative rug making, and look at these pictures. Just gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. So, and it gives, you know, step-by-step instructions on how to make the crocheted ones. And then, like, the pattern for latch hook rugs and stuff. And even has this thing here. I mean, it's really neat. I'm probably not going to use 90% of this book, but I thought this is a great book to have in my library in case I ever decide to tackle any of these projects. I can. And then I love making bags, and this is not my style of bags, but I thought I could incorporate a lot of the ideas in this Patchwork Bags book. This is a sewing book, and it's got the original pattern in it, which is really cool. So this is something I like about it. On every single type of bag, there's this. That is so cool. So, so cool. Tells you everything you need to know about it, and then it gives you a breakdown of the instructions. And some of them have, well, no, it doesn't. That is the breakdown of directions. So it's got, I mean, every single bag is like that. Some of them are 2 or 3 pages. So here's another one. So this is just really cool. This is Patchwork Bags by Chuck Nohara. And the rug making is by Better Home and Garden. And then the complete step-by-step guide to home sewing. And it doesn't say on the front who wrote it. And this is another one of those things that I don't need this book. I just think it would be really cool because I've always wanted to make Roman shades. And the first page in the book is this. How cool is that? I totally want to make one of those. So, it's got everything in here. It's got these fancy ruched curtains. Not curtains. Blinds. Austrian blinds. And it gives you, with every single project, it gives you the plain simple version, and then it gives you the fancy version. It gives you 2 or 3 different ways to make it really fancy. All different types of curtains, shower curtains, blinds, roller blinds, Roman blinds, Austrian blinds, fancy blinds, bed linens, pillows, floor pillows, floor cushions, aprons, stuff for the kitchen, and tablecloths, napkins, how to do circular ones, and lampshades. Like here's a slip-on lampshade. It tells you how to use that. It just goes on top of a lamp. And customize them for your particular lampshade frame. And you know how to make these lampshades. And oh, it's just got everything in here. So I thought this would be a really cool book to have. And it even tells you like how to redo these chairs. Chairs like this with the little cushion and stuff. So, upholster. And slip covers for the couch and things like that. I mean, it's really cool. And even how to make a hammock. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this book. I thought it's another one of those things I don't really need, but I thought, you know, if I ever decide to actually make something like this that's in this book, I'll be really glad I have it. So those are my acquisitions for the month of January, I guess. for episode 19. So that is all I have to share craft-wise, but I did want to spend a moment talking about some of the things we discussed in the last episode. I know I spent quite a while talking about Fairily Fiber Fun's business plans and all that awesome stuff, like January is the month to get the business officially registered and everything set. And I am not sure what kind of business, like how I want to set that up. And I'm not sure what direction I want to go, what my focus is going to be. So for right now, I'm going to run it as a sole proprietor, and I'm going to keep the Etsy store open, but I am phasing out of the spinning fiber, so there will only be hand-dyed yarns, and that's all I'm going to focus on right now. Come shearing time, I've got a friend that is willing to partner with me on selling some of her fleeces. She's got Gulf Coast native sheep, and I have gotten Gulf Coast native fleeces before. They make great socks and sweaters, and but it depends on the sheep, because sometimes you get really coarse, rough, awful fibers, and sometimes you get the really soft, wonderful ones. Well, this lady, she is local to me, and she breeds her sheep for fine fleece. And when her fleeces were judged at the fair, they were judged too fine for the breed. They are a medium fiber breed, medium fine, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the proper terminology, but they're supposed to be a medium grade fiber, and they were too fine to qualify in the medium. And that was the only thing that was wrong with her fleeces. She won a blue ribbon. So, and I have one of her fleeces in my closet. Excuse me, I'm talking about wool, and now my nose itches. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, it's like I talk about it and then it gets on me. Who knows? My whole house is just covered in lint and wool and fuzz, and we quite often have it in our food because it floats around in the air and we pick it out of our food. So, you know, it's part of my poor kids, part of living with a fiber artist. So, yeah, I'm thinking about selling some of those amazing fleeces in my Etsy shop at some point. Debating if I want to sell the scoured fleeces or not. I don't know what direction I'm really going to be going. So until a decision is made, everything just stays as it is. I made several sales between October and the end of December, and that was really wonderful. Of course, it's the beginning of January and I haven't made a single sale yet, and it's after Christmas, and I figure people were wanting to buy for Christmas. A lot of those sales were for Christmas or for the holidays. Excuse me. It might be that skirt. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just not sure what direction to go and what direction I want to go in. I want to do something that's going to be successful, and I'm really not into vending right now, so I can't buy the fiber and the yarn to dye. I have to do one or the other at this point with my current budget situation. So focusing on the yarn is the thing to do, and I'll just pull the fibers out of my shop. I've already edited those listings, and they're not going to automatically renew when they run out. They won't be in my shop anymore. So I'm not putting them on sale. I'm just letting you know, if you want to get the spinning fibers that are in my shop, get them now. They're not going to be up much longer. Some of them expire this month, some of them expire next month. So, yeah, get them now if you want them, because I'm taking them out of the shop. Some of them I might spin up on my own and just enjoy treating myself to some fun spins. I might throw some through the drum carder. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right now I am taking scoured fleece. I had a bug scare. So I'm taking all the scoured fleece and I'm baking it in my oven little bits at a time, and all the fibers and things. So that's one of the reasons I've had to take a step back and think about, what do I want to do with Fairily Fiber Fun, and what direction do I want to go with it. Also, I have been through a purge everything and minimize my life, just minimalist lifestyle to make room for the things that are really, really important. And this year I'm more into the garden and homesteading and learning some really important skills as far as that goes. And I started a new series on my channel, which is called Homestead Dreaming. Because I didn't want to start another channel, so I just kept it on the same one. But that is a really big passion, and it's right at the front of my priorities right now. It's at the front of my mind, at the front of my heart, and it's really, really strong. So that's what I'm making room for: the canning supplies, the freezing stuff, and trying to start buying up the stuff for that now. While I'm also, oh, my nose. While I am also putting money aside for my next undyed yarn purchase so that I can dye up some more colorways. Like this colorway is so beautiful that I want to dye up a lot more of it, so I can put it back in the shop. It's still listed in the shop, but I would have to dye it up. If somebody ordered it, I'd have to dye it and then send it off. So currently my Etsy shop is, you order it, I'll dye it up and send it to you. I don't have a ton of stock. I don't have a ton of space for stock. So I don't dye up gobs and gobs of yarn and then put it all in the shop and let people buy it from me already processed, already dyed, ready to ship. I do have one set of Gryffindor yarn that the last order that came in, I dyed up double. And that way, if somebody else wants some, I can just ship it right out and immediately dye the next set, so that I'm dyeing one set ahead of the orders. But if you need something for a specific project, tell me how much you need and I will dye up enough for you. And if you have any specifications, please list them. Let me know so that I can dye up accordingly. But it's very important. Every batch is different, so it's very important that you let me know right away if you need a certain number of skeins in the same colorway, so I can hopefully dye them all in the same pot at the same time, or at least, you know, make sure my recipe is the same for each pot. So there is that. And I think that's everything. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and listening to me ramble on and on about all the things that are going on. And I'm really excited that I get to share this part of my life with you. It's really cool. I hope that you are inspired to do some fun things yourself, either crafting related or otherwise. And I hope you guys are incredibly blessed. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would really love to know that you are connected to what I'm doing, that just building a community is the greatest thing ever. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting what I'm doing just by watching and continuing to watch show after show. That really means a lot to me, and everybody's comments just incredibly wonderful. So you guys are awesome, you rock, and you're a blessing to me. I hope I can be a blessing to you. So until next time, have a wonderful day, be blessed. Bye!